My colleagues and I, Chad Keel and Natalie Zuk will speak after me. We want to address 4 concerns today. The board's response to Measure K, Measure J, the FP5 special tax, and the threat posed by the county's pension debt. As an organization dedicated to big-hearted communities and small government, the Red Brennan Group has been concerned about the expanding size, scope, and performance of San Bernardino County government. In November of 2017, our organization sponsored the Leadership Accountability Initiative. The intent of this initiative was to ensure elected leadership adhered to the county's charter and begin to exercise fiscal discipline with respect to overall budget and head count. Our reward for exercising our rights was to be dragged into court by the board. So as a strategy, the Leadership Accountability Initiative was then broken down in component parts and resubmitted in a variety of iterations. Again, the county sued on 10 different submissions. Just 2 were required the required ballot title and summary. The 2 initiatives the board allowed covered 2 topics: supervisor compensation and term limits. Fast forward to November 2020, on the strength of 70,000 signatures, Measure K was presented to county voters and approved by a supermajority of those voters. What were the components of Measure K? Term limits and supervisor compensation. Measure K, with its limit of 1 term and cap compensation, was the only option for reform that this board did not sue us over. How did the board respond to the success of Measure K? Rather than acknowledge the supermajority vote and take a leadership role to implement K, this board again chose to go to the law, effectively using taxpayer resources against them. This is both bad leadership and bad politics. From the perspective of the voters, this board is simply rubber stamping the direction given to them by county bureaucrats. And I'm going to cease my comments then, and hopefully on your list, Mr. Chad Keel should be the next speaker.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Murphy. We have the order you requested, Mr. Chad Keel, then Natalie Zuk.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Supervisors. And thank you, non-elected former librarian. What a promotion. On the strength of just 5 politician signatures, Measure J was placed on the last November's ballot to compete with Measure K. It lost by a huge margin, and none of this measure is valid, and your attorneys know this. Continuing to pay yourselves in accordance with the measures amounts to theft and funds belonging to the citizens of this county. The California Constitution also states, no local government may impose, extend, or increase any special tax unless and until that tax is submitted to the electorate and approved by a 2/3 vote. Given this language, why are nearly 1/2 of county residents paying a special tax they never approved by a 2/3 vote? Everyone in this room knows the tax was imposed in violation of Article 13C of the Constitution. How is this acceptable? How can you sit there and be called county supervisors while you allow our California Constitution to be disregarded and the people you represent to be exploited? Do the right thing. This tax was imposed by and can be done away by your board. How can you convene in secret session and unanimously vote to give $65 million in legal settlements to your campaign contributors? The optics are awful, and especially when there was knowledge you would have to vote on this matter when accepting campaign funds. Elected supervisors ought to recuse themselves in any situation where an appearance of conflict exists. Special interest exists. Recuse yourself. That's a standard being a county board supervisor. We invite you to reset your goals moving forward, stopping the county's continued abuse of the legal system to block the express will of the county voters, we're talking about Measure K there, stopping the unconstrained and over-expanding growth in the size of compensation of the county bureaucracy, and stop the pending failure of the county's pension fund and the use of billions from this fund to fund other countries to compete with ours. Thank you very much.
Natalie Zuk.
Good afternoon, Chairman and honorable members of the board. My name is Natalie Zuk. I am a lifelong resident of San Bernardino County. I am employed by the Red Brennan Group, and I am here on behalf of the 516,000 San Bernardino County voters who voted in favor of Measure K and would like to see it through. The Red Brennan Group will work with anyone for the benefit of this county in good faith. But you can expect us, absent a showing of good faith and cooperation from yourselves, which we invite you to vigorously defend Measure K on behalf of the 66% of county voters that approved this measure, a tax that we shouldn't have to do, yet unfortunately we're here to speak about today. In accordance with California Elections Code, Measure K won, therefore Measure J should have no effect, and we will aggressively defend this position in court. The repeal of the FP5 special tax will once again be placed and submitted to voters on the March 2022 ballot as well. And finally, the Red Brennan Group will support any candidate, and we have been approached by many candidates so far. I'm actually pretty excited about it, for the 2022 County Supervisors election that is willing to serve in accordance with the terms set forth under Measure K, and to forswear contributions from special interests in an effort to build trust in the political system within the county, shown by actions rather than words. We seek to deliver the best government to the county citizens for no more than the true cost of providing that product, with the leftover balance being used creatively to benefit this county's citizens rather than its governing elite. Lead on Measure K, lead on Measure J, lead on the FP5 tax repeal, and finally, exercise leadership on the county pension fund and stop hiring your friends who have no CEO background whatsoever to serve as the CEOs of very important positions within our county. Thank you.